The people that were there, when we went into the Coliseum, the arena, and that was electric. I heard from so many people. I don't know if you guys heard this or felt this, but the people I talked to that had gone to all of our events said by far this was the most impactful event that we have ever done.
I heard that many times.
I think we are at the beginning. I flew back with David Barton yesterday. And David said, just matter-of-factly, he said, we're in the awakening. And I leaned up and I said, wait a minute, hold on, what did you just say? And he said, we're in the awakening. And I said, the third great awakening? And he said, oh yeah, I truly believe it's happening now. That's great. That is great. He's the one who told me about the great awakening. It's like, we need the great awakening to happen. And we had people from all different faiths walking together.
Yeah.
All different. I mean, I marched with, that famous picture of the Woolworths lunch counter and the guy sitting at the lunch counter? Clarence Henderson is one of the guys that was sitting at that counter. I found out, I was giving a speech. I don't remember one of the 18 speeches I gave this weekend. And I think it was at the Guiding Light Church. And somebody came up to me right before and said, that guy, you know who he is? And I'm like, no. He's like, he was the 18-year-old kid at the lunch counter in the 1960s and showed me the picture. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen that picture in our history books all the time.
Wow. And
he was the guy who marched next to me. He's the nicest guy. I said, why are you doing this? He said, because a friend of mine told me he comes from Greensboro, North Carolina. And he drove down by himself to go. And I said, what made you do this? He said, it's time. It's just time. We have to come together or we're going to tear each other apart. Isn't that fantastic?
It's great. I mean, it was nothing compared to the Black Lives Matter rally.
Yeah. Of course.
350 people.
Yeah.
350.
I kind of screwed that up because we were talking before we went on the air, and I told you it was 350 people.
Yeah.
As reported by the media. I kind of was wrong on that. We should give him a little bit more credit.
Okay, what was it?
325. So that is
325 people.
Legitimately, they reported it at 325.
Well, that's the media saying it's 325. It was probably 350.
Yeah, maybe. PJ Media pointed this out brilliantly, which was that in Minnesota, 325 people marched. Reuters has a story about it. Reuters. And then the coverage of All Lives Matter, you've got 20,000 people. And it's, good coverage, but by local Alabama media, which is great. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they did it. But it's like, why would a 20,000 person rally where you have a conservative host who is, we're told all the time that conservatives and African Americans can't get along, where you're going to, speaking at multiple African American churches where a crowd is filled with white, black, every color, marching in unity.
It's exactly why they didn't cover it.
That's
exactly why they didn't cover it.
They need us to be a part. Yep. They'll say, well, we didn't know about it. That's the first thing. The only national coverage that I saw, besides PJ Media, which I didn't know, the only national coverage that I saw was Mediaite, which is a New York-based media website that people who are in the media read. Mm-hmm. So Mediaite covered it on Saturday.
That's great.
So they all knew. All these journalists, they all knew. The next logical excuse besides I didn't know was or would be good news doesn't sell. That's what they'll say. Good news. We need conflict. The editors, there's no conflict there. Well, yeah, here's the conflict. Good versus evil. Good versus evil.
A perfect example of that, the main picture on the Alabama website for Restoring Unity was the march and everyone holding God is the answer, courage, justice, and the cover of the Black Lives Matter picture is Black Lives Matter protesters chant pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Yeah, we have that audio.
Evil. Jeez. Unbelievable.
Blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
See, here's the thing. Martin Luther King knew that when it came down to it, and I've told you this for years, when it comes down to it, we have to be able to A-B compare. You have to be able to give the American people a choice. So we had people from all different faiths. One of the leaders of the Southern Baptist Convention was there. Leaders from all different churches were there. Pastors, priests, all marching together of all different colors. At one point, Alveda was leading the march and singing, Jesus loves the little children. Now, you're going to go with the people who are doing that, or are you going to go with the pigs in a blanket, fry them and whatever they were saying?
Fry them like bacon.
Well, fry them like bacon.
When you have, in the middle of this controversial time where, we're told we're at such odds with each other, here's an opportunity to celebrate two different groups coming together and everyone having a great time. No arrests.
No arrests.
There was no throwing things at cops. No. There was no anger. It was just people coming together in a wonderful way for an entire weekend of service. And, do you get that from Reuters? Do you get that from national media at all? No, you get 325 people walking around threatening pigs' lives. That's what you get. Yeah, that gets coverage.